How do you get a truck that big anyway?
I just set the shrink ray on reverse.
Right now, going on is the biggest F-150 sales event ever at Freedom Ford Lincoln of Morgantown.
Welcome to the WVU pregame show. The Mountaineers taking on Texas today here in Austin. I'm joined by Ed Owens. I am Todd Murray. Ed, a lot of talk since the TCU tough 31-30 loss about a hangover. That's something they've got to get over quickly here today, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That was the primary focus for WVU this week, and a lot of guys talked about it. We talked about it earlier in the week, not letting that TCU loss beat them twice. They've really been focused heading into this game, and I think we're going to find out today how much that really did affect them. Dana Holgorsen earlier this week said the guys came in Sunday, they were ready to go, and he was proud of the way they bounced back from that loss. You heard it from the players too, and from the assistant coaches this week when we got a chance to speak to them. They're all saying the right things. We're going to find out if they're actually doing the right things and how much that loss, that really disappointing, kind of heartbreaking loss to TCU affected them.
Teams the last couple of weeks have been able to take Kevin White, WVU star receiver, out of the offense. Obviously, you have to expect Texas is going to try something similar today. What does WVU need to do to get him going?
Yeah, I think getting Kevin White involved is a must for WVU. It's not a question of do they need to do it, it's how can they do it. Because as you mentioned, the last two games, Oklahoma State and TCU have both done a really good job of limiting White. 3 receptions in each game, about 50 total yards. So White has really struggled under double coverage, and the passing offense, as we mentioned, has struggled because of it. Clint Trickett's had a hard time without his top receiver. WVU does need to find a different way to get him involved. And one of the things they've prided themselves on is taking what defenses give them. But Shannon Dawson earlier this week said, but if you only take what defenses give you, then you're really limiting yourself. I mean, if WVU shies away from White because Texas is trying to take him away, WVU is in effect taking away its own number one weapon. So they have to do what they can, not necessarily force the ball to him, but as the coaches said, get a little more creative, find different ways to get the ball in his hands, and let him be the playmaker he's shown he can be.
All right, these WVU Texas games since WVU joined the Big 12 have been highly competitive, going down to the last second. Do you expect something similar here today?
Yeah, I do. I think WVU's got their hands full today, playing on a tough opponent's field here. Texas has a pretty serious home field advantage, 100,000 strong coming out, or expected to be coming out today. So I think that's going to be challenging, and I think the thing they have going for them is they've been here and they've done it. Dana Holgorsen this season has said how important it's been that the team's already made its rounds through the Big 12. They know what to expect. They've been here to Texas, they've played on this field, and they've had success on this field. They also have a little motivation from last year's Texas game where they came in and Texas took one from WVU at Pushkar Stadium. So both teams already building that little bit of history in the first couple of years in the Big 12. I'd expect another tight one today, and really this one could determine WVU's future going down the stretch.
All right, we'll see how it plays out. Thanks for your time, Ed, and please continue to follow our WVU football coverage on thedpost.com.